Hello, and we're back. In today's video for DevelopwithWP, we are going to talk about creating date pickers. This is going to be the last field we cover. I really could spend all day or weeks actually talking about different field types, color pickers, and uploads, and repeatable fields, and that may end up being a to-do, or that might become a tutorial later on. But for this video tutorial series for how to build a plugin, we're just going to cover one more input field type, and that's creating a date picker field. So if you see right here, we have these date listed and date and application deadline, and sure, we could just type in a date and then try and format it later or whatever on the front end, and that would work. But really what would be better is if we made these calendars show up. So let's make that happen. The first thing we need to do is we need to go to our main, in our main file. I just want to refresh this. We are actually already done this. We need to enqueue the JavaScript file. And this is going to be our main admin jobs JavaScript file. So it's already been enqueued. And you'll remember we set this jQuery UI date picker as a dependency. So that's going to allow us to use jQuery UI date picker, which is already built into WordPress. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is go to our fields, and we need to add another class to the end of our classes for these two field types. So where we have this class defined, we need to add a class called Datepicker. Pucker. And then we need to do it down here too. Alright. And so now we have that class added. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be using this class to target these input fields to trigger an event within JavaScript. So let's make that happen. Just like the last video, we need to make our jQuery ready. So I'm just going to copy our old one to save time. Paste it in here. And just remove all the stuff inside. Alright, and then we really just have to do one thing. We just have to do jQuery and tell it we want to target that class of date picker that we set. Right, and the way JavaScript knows it's a class because we use the period date picker, and then we want it to run the date picker function. Alright, jQuery date picker. Alright, let's see if this works. So if we go back and refresh, and we click on these input fields, you'll see that this calendar shows up. Now obviously right now it looks horrible, but we're going to fix that in just a second. So let's go and make that look better. So one of the things we have to do is we have to enqueue one more thing. Luckily there's different styles that you can use for this, and we're going to use one that's on a Google CDN, so it's just that way I don't actually have to download one and input it and all that. And it also, while you'll probably never do this on production, it'll also be a good opportunity to kind of talk about enqueuing something like a Google font or something like that, because that is something that you will run across. So when we enqueue this style, we give it a unique name just like normal, and then instead of giving it like a direct link to somewhere in our files directory or our file structure, it's just going to be the link to with the HTTP, right? That's important to add. It's the exact link to that web address, and then that's it. You don't add anything else to it. Ideally, I think in a production, which is sometimes, I think this might be a debate. I don't know. In my opinion, and I think generally what you're going to want to do is for a production, is you would actually want to download this and actually have it as part of the files within your plugin, and you'd reference them like you did here. But and when you're testing and you're working, it's nice to be able to just plug in this URL and go with it. So if we save this and we refresh, now when we click here, it's a nice looking calendar. And you can search for these again and find different ones that look different. But now we can pick a date, which is really cool. and we're not going to do any of it here, but if you Google jQuery Datepicker, oops, wrong one. jQuery Datepicker. All right. And you go here, you'll find that there's a whole lot of different stuff you can do with this date picker, and you can add different functionality. I really like the animations one. If you go to the animations one, they have one like a slide effect where when you click it slides in from the side. Display inline buttons, display button bar. So it's just some really neat stuff. You can format the date. There's just a lot of things you can do, and I like jQuery's. If you don't have a lot of experience with jQuery's documentation is really pretty good. It allows you to you can look at these and then you can view the source down here and kind of see how they did it, and just add this, add these same parameters into your JavaScript, and you can customize how this thing works and operates. All right, so that's really it for this video. I think this might be my shortest video ever. So again, I'm not going to cover any other field types from here on out, but just the ones, I'm just covering the ones that we needed. So again, I hope you found this video useful. That's how you create a date picker. Oh, there is one more thing I wanted to do. I want to go in here to our fields and give these things a size of 10. I think that's how you do it. Let's see if that works. Yay, see, it made it smaller. I want to make these a little bit smaller. Just because it looks good, man. I like for stuff to look good. So now that's it. I promise. No more field stuff. So from here on, we're going to move on to creating settings pages. I think that's going to be the next video. We're going to create a settings page because our plugin is going to have a reordering functionality where you can go to a settings page and it's going to show all the job listings posts, and then you can drag and drop and reorder them. So that'll be neat. So that's going to be the next video. So again, thanks for watching this one. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.